What's going on, dudes and dudettes? So, yes, big news from USC football. Their top wide receiver, Drake London, is going to the NFL. He has put his name into the NFL draft, so good luck to him. He's projected as a first round, early second round pick, definitely a late first round pick, no matter what, even with this injury. So, I know it's going to be tough to try to keep him, but, it was a guy who actually, when he came to USC, he was only considered like a 2-star football prospect and a 3-star basketball prospect. He came and went to USC for both. And his first year, he did half and half. So once he finished football, he went to basketball and barely played. But in his second year, once he saw how good he really was in football, then he decided to get off the team and just focus more during his junior year. And of course, it was a great year, even though it was cut short by a couple games. And yeah, definitely good luck to him. Definitely a success story. Shows what he can do with the type of athleticism and, heart and grind that you got. So good luck to Drake London in the NFL. Then 3 Chargers players were put on the COVID-19 list a couple days ago. First, it was Mike Williams, the wide receiver. So he's the second wide receiver to join Keenan Allen, as I mentioned in the last video. Then cornerback Chris Harris was also put on the COVID list. He's been sort of starting, so it kind of doesn't really matter for him. And then Scott Quisenberry, an offensive lineman, was put on the COVID list as well. He is a backup, so not really worrying about that. But, just suck. It does suck if there is an injury and you need depth. But hopefully they will get an easy victory because they're playing the New York Giants, who are down a lot of guys due to health and injuries. And they don't even have their top quarterback as well, so hoping for an easy victory. You never know, but yeah, that's all we could hope for. Then there was a pretty big weekend get together. I believe it was last Sunday, but just some news and pictures finally came out a couple of days ago about who was there and everything for a big USC recruiting dinner and all this stuff. And a lot of guys showed up, a lot of guys who are still not on the team, and a lot of guys who are in the transfer portal as well from other schools. I mean, of course, Damani Jackson, one of the top 5 overall players in high school football, was there, who was committed to USC but decommitted, but he was there. Then also Elias Ricks, the transfer from LSU, so he's looking at USC in depth, which is pretty nice. Also guys like Makai Lemon, the wide receiver who recently picked USC, along with his quarterback, Malachi Nelson, the 5-star quarterback. That was good. Even though they're coming in next season, they were there to show some support and try to help out recruiting, which was nice. A couple other guys, Raleek Brown, the running back from Modern Day, the 5-star who recently signed up. CJ Williams, another Modern Day wide receiver who is still committed to Notre Dame, but he is liking what USC is doing, and especially since Brian Kelly left Notre Dame, the main head coach. He might be looking to go elsewhere, which is nice. Hopefully it is USC. And then even Bailey, he's an outside linebacker from Modern Day as well. He was considered a very good defensive prospect from California, but he did recently choose Stanford a few days before this, and I was surprised to still see him there. But it is still before the signing period, so nothing is official. But maybe USC did a late push to try to get him, and hopefully they did. So, yeah, it was pretty cool to see all those dudes there. And then, yes, LeBron James did get finally his 100th career triple-double in his career. Took a while, took 18, 19 seasons. Finally did it. But, of course, it came in a loss to the Grizzlies, who were, down 2, 3 of their top players, and the Lakers had a couple days off and they still played like crap, lost the game. It was horrible. And then they get Oklahoma City Thunder tonight on Friday, the very next day, who is a team that have recently beat the Lakers, even though they were sucking at the time. So we'll see how this goes. But yeah, it's not looking good for the Lakers. They might have to blow up this team already. I'll get into a big trade that might help them out, but I doubt it's going to happen, but it's still a nice thing to talk about. Then a couple of USC players coming in and out of the program right now. Linebacker Raymond Scott, who was a 5-star at USC right now, but he has entered the transfer portal, so we'll see how that situation goes out. Then also a 3-star offensive lineman, Keith Olson, recently decommitted from USC. So he's most likely going elsewhere, but there are a lot more talented guys at his position available right now. So hopefully USC does go after those guys. And then they also did offer a pretty talented linebacker from the University of Nevada. And he's pretty good. I believe his name is Damian Henley. And he's recently had over 100 tackles this season. Was named one of the top defenders in that conference. And he's looking to jump up to the next level, a better Power 5 school. And hopefully it is USC because of Raymond Scott. A couple other guys they've lost the linebacker position. They definitely need some depth and help at that position. So hopefully he might choose USC. And I think I forgot last time, there was another outside linebacker, defensive end. It was in the Hunter Echols. His name was Julian Fulianco or something like that. He was another defensive lineman that decided to enter the transfer portal from USC. So yes, a lot of movement right now for the roster, but as usual, Lincoln Riley is saying that he believes his roster could be changed through the transfer portal and guys coming in from high school right now all over the country. So we'll see how this goes. Should be very, very interesting. Then, as I mentioned, a pretty big trade that could help the Lakers. You never know. It is a big 3-team mega deal that, yeah, I think it could work, but I don't know. You just have to get the other guys, the other teams to go with it and be involved as well. But according to this, the Lakers would get obviously Damian Lillard, who is the prized possession in this trade, which would definitely help out the Lakers. He's a way better player over Russell Westbrook. Is considered top 10 sometimes when he is healthy, other than Westbrook. But yes, he's the only player that would be coming to the Lakers. But Portland would get Brandon Ingram, ex-Duke player, who was also an ex-Laker with the Pelicans now. But they would get Brandon Ingram, Devontae Graham, who's from the Pelicans as well, Thomas Satoransky, a point guard, shooting guard from the Pelicans, and also the Pelicans' 2023 first-round pick, which is next season. So Portland gets that because they are giving up a lot more of a talented player, is what I guess. But now the Pelicans were involved as well, so they get Russell Westbrook from the Lakers, Talen Horton-Tucker as well from the Lakers, Nasir Little, who's a guy out of North Carolina who has been in the league for a couple years but hasn't really shown that he's a first-round pick, but maybe given a chance somewhere else he could show something. And then Pelicans also get the 2027 first-round pick from the Lakers, which it might be the one thing that hinders this trade, because I know the Lakers can't give out consecutive first-round picks to one team, especially, and they have like pick swaps and all this other stuff with the Pelicans for the next like 5 years. So I don't know if this could work out, but you never know. It could be past whatever other first-round picks they've given up in the future to the Pelicans. So you never know. Could be very interesting mega deal, but yeah, very, very, have to have all the sides agree, which is going to be tough. Then the playoff committee or NCAA is looking about to change this new early signing day period that they put in a few years back, where if a guy was really intent on wanting to sign with a certain school right away, and if he did graduate high school early in the first semester, then he could go to college and start in the beginning of January, already be on campus for like spring ball, all that stuff. So it's usually, I think it's like next week, December 15th or 17th, next Wednesday or whatever. But now the committee is looking to take that away because of all these coaches jumping over way earlier and way before their team has played their very last game, because they want to get in as soon as possible, like a Lincoln Riley, Brian Kelly, guys like that, to LSU, so they could already start recruiting and get guys signed for the early signing day period. Because a lot of guys do want to just sign early, whether they are coming on January or not to the school, and get it over with. But yeah, it's been pretty bad to see all these coaches leaving good situations to go to better ones because of money, and then trying to get all these other kids to buy into what they're doing. It's pretty crazy, yes, and even my school, USC, is doing it, but it's the way it's got to go, at least for now, until they decide to change it, which I'm pretty sure they will. But hopefully it's like maybe they do it to January, so then some of those schools could have their coaches play in their last game, the bowl game, and then say they're leaving or whatever. Something like that. It could be a good thing to bargain with. So thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day. Bye. Bye on.